What's up, y'all? And welcome to the Tasha C show. This is me, Tasha C. And, shout out to my YouTube and podcast fam, hugs and loves, for all the support. Like I said, if you search me for YouTube, go to Tasha C TV. It's Tasha C TV. You put in YouTube search to find me, follow me there. And you can look at the description of this video if you're watching from YouTube, to find speaker and other platforms where my podcast at. And shout hugs and loves and say positive vibes to people supporting me and just people in the future, just period, okay? Because we all know what's going on right now. Now, today is April the 2nd, 2020. I woke up kind of early, I'm still getting my sleeping pattern back together, but it is better. It ain't like I've been up all night like that. I actually woke up, and so I went ahead, since I'm up, I might as well go ahead and do another podcast, which is, in this case, the series that I still have of doing our Kings and Queens Next Door, which has to do with Black history. Now, it may not be no longer Women History Month, but of course, I'm still going to talk about Miss History. I forgot to put this out, Women History meant to say as well. I forgot to mention yesterday, it was a sad, bittersweet that March the 31st, was a year later of the passing of Nipsey Hussle, the rapper and businessman. It's just, like I said, it's really sad, but, I wanted to go ahead and just bring that up. So, again, it goes as healing to his family, and the marathon continues. And so, again, I finally went to a couple articles, so, again, it may be one or two, depending on the lively one. Now, I just looked before I got on here. One of the articles is Atlanta Black Star, and it says about 10 African kings and queens whose stories must be told on film. And it's by ABS contributor, and it was uploaded December the 7th, 2013. Now, it's one of those type of articles where you have to press on, and it's not all on the same page, almost in a slide, like a slide article or slides. The other one was from study.com, so I'm going to go to this one first and probably go back to National African American History Museum, the Simone de blog, and go do this depending how long this take, or I may just do this one article. Now, I went ahead and fast forward. It wasn't that much, but I went to the first slide, and hopefully it doesn't take that long going to each slide. If not, I just may do a couple per day until I get to the 10, or whenever I get back to this particular article. Some of them, y'all, I still have not finished, and still got, it's saved in the archives of my tabs. But anyway, y'all, I know y'all like, okay, are you going to talk about some African or African American history, some Black history? You're going to continue? Yes, I am. Okay, so let me get started and let y'all know in advance, how I mispronounce words. I'm just keeping it real. But let's go here. Now, in their first choices of, because I did decide to Google on both African kings and queens at the same time, since I've been doing, this African royalty search. The first king they recommend as King Hannibal is said to be the greatest military leader and strategist of all time. Hannibal was born in 247 BC during the beginning of the decline of Carthage, then in maritime power near present-day Tunis in North Africa. The Carthage population was a mix of Africans and Paphians who were great merchants, trading with India, the people of the Mediterranean and Sicilian Isles. When he was very young, about 8 or 9, Hannibal accompanied his father Hammer in the battle against the Romans. 17 years later, in 221 BC, he succeeded his brother-in-law Hasselbrough and became supreme commander of the countering forces. Hannibal had 80,000 infantry and 12,000 cavalry and 40 African war elephants. I wonder were they just like carrying cargo or transport people around, or did they actually have some of the battle? Okay, sorry y'all. Okay, he conquered major portions of Spain and France, all of Italy except for Rome. Hannibal marched his army and war elephants through the Alps to surprise and conquer his enemies. In one battle, the Romans, led by the general Scorpius Africanus, put 80,000 men on the field, led by Scorpio, to defeat Hannibal. When Alcinous attacked with his entire army, Hannibal had so studied the grounds that he arranged his African swordsmen and elephants to trample and slaughter. Okay, well, that answered my question. When they met war elephants, then the elephants trained to fight too. Okay. After killing thousands. Okay, I know as I never heard this story before. Thousands of Roman soldiers in lengthy battle, Hannibal took his own life rather than to surrender when he was overwhelmed by the larger Roman army. Wow. That would be a good story. I mean, it's sad how it ended, but I mean, he took him out. Okay, here's another king. King Massa Musa I, Emperor Moses, was an important Malian king ruling from 1312 to 1337 and expanding the Mali influence over the Niger city-states of Timbuktu, Gado, and Guinea. Musa ruled the Mali Empire was estimated to have worth equating to 400 billion in today's currency, which makes him the richest man to ever walk the earth. The emperor was a master businessman and economist, and gained his wealth through Mali's supply of gold, salt, and ivory, the main commodities for most of the world during that time. Musa maintained a huge army that kept peace and policies the trade routes for his businesses. His armies pushed the borders of Mali from the Atlantic coast into the west, beyond the cities of Turkos and Gado in the east, and from the salt mines of Tajas in the north of the gold mines of Walker in the south. Musa was also a major influence on the University of Timbuktu, the world's first university and a major learning institution for not just for Africa, but the world. Timbuktu became a meeting place for poets, scholars, and artists of Africa and the Middle East. Even after Mali declined, Timbuktu remained the major learning center for Africa for many years. Okay, next page. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Of course I begin, y'all, but like I said, after this, I'm going to go night. Okay, Shaka. Here we got back again. I think the other two kings I have seen before in previous articles that I read. And again, we just read recently, I think it was last week, a couple articles about his mother, the mother of the Queen of Shaka, the story behind her. And here again, now we talk about Shaka. Shaka, King of the Zulus, was born in 1787, the son of a Zulu chief, Senzane Gaunhala, and his wife Nati. When Shaka was 26, his father died and left the throne to a son, Sanja. Shaka ambushed and killed Sanja. Well, talk about brother rivalry. Taking leadership of the Zulus. He came into power around 1818. A strong military interventor, Shaka noticed for a revolution 19th century Bantu welfare by first regrouping regiments by age and training his men to use strategized weapons and special tactics. He invented the Assegai, a short stabbing spear, and marched his rangers in tight formation, using large shields to fend off the enemies throwing spears. Over the years, Shaka troops earned such a reputation that many enemies would flee at the sight of them. With cunning and confidence as his tools, Shaka built a small Zulu tribe into a powerful nation of more than 1 million people, and united all tribes in South Africa against European colonial rule. The Zulu nation contributed the use of Shaka innovation in the wars after his death. I probably might copy and paste and do more of a longer, lengthy description article, every king and queen mentioned here. But it's interesting that they have Shaka Zulu in here because, like I said, they had a miniseries on Shaka Zulu, unless they're talking about maybe making a film or something. Netflix is maybe what they were suggesting. But wait a minute, I don't think Netflix was was starting to get popular then. It seemed like Netflix got popular around 3 to 4 years ago. Okay. Now I see this. They're not even saying who the person's name is. But she was brought up before, but I'm about to bring it up again. But they don't even have the name here. You got to read the article to see it. Near the end of the 19th century, the British exiled King Ferdinand from the hinterlands of the Gulf Coast, present-day Ghana, and intended to take over. By the 1900s, still not getting control, the British sent a governor over to the city of the capital of Ashanti, to demand the Gold School, the art convent of the Ashanti people. The Golden Stool was supreme symbol of the sorority and independence of the Ashanti, a people who inhabit. Okay, sorry, the ad had moved the article a little bit. Inhabit this rainforests of what is now the central portion of Ghana. The governor in no way understood the sacred significance of the golden stool, which was, according to tradition, contained the soul of the Ashanti. This is kind of like a real life version and the African version of, say, even though I've kind of watched reviews about it, it's like a real life version of Game of Thrones, African Game of Thrones. Okay. Alright. Naya Ashantiwa was presented at the meeting with the governor chiefs. When in the meeting, and she was along with the Ashanti chief, she said, "Now I have seen some of you fear the fight for our king. If it were the days of the old, the days of Ashwituku, Okomofupo, Anake, and Opawar, Ashanti chiefs would not sit down to see their king taken away without firing a shot. No white man could have dared speak to Ashanti chiefs the way the governor spoke to you chiefs this morning." Nanya Asachi speaks stirred the man. She said, "If you men will not go forward, then the women will. I will call upon my family. We will fight the white men into the